The Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
And he's here. And he's here.
You know, I never thought we would see the day. I even questioned if I was hallucinating when this pick came across the screen. Now, Matthew Golden, mocked by some as wide receiver 1 of the draft. Elite level hands, vertical threat, contested catch master. A solid amount of analysts didn't even think he'd make it this far down the board to the Packers. I mean, this kind of an arsenal, it's almost everything that you desire in a wide receiver prospect.
Pressure comes, Ewers on the move, flips it downfield, going up and making the catch is Golden, his second huge play. Again, he beat Daniel Harris.
They clearly.
But more importantly, it's everything Green Bay needed in a wide receiver prospect. Now, you might not initially agree with that, but let me try and change your mind. Second and goal, inside the opponent's 5, and a stack with Matthew Golden split outside the hash. Now, based on the defense's alignment, it's likely a simple red zone man-to-man style defense, which is exactly why Texas approached the line with this play design. A jet motion from the back end out of the stack, his defender follows him in pursuit, and a designed quarterback rollout with Matthew Golden on an island. This set is solely designed for him and him only. He makes or breaks this play.
Second and goal. Ewers sprint right to the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorns!
Very last second, he breaks it out to a comeback, and what a perfect throw.
Now rewind back to pre-snap. The defensive back was already shading his outside shoulder. He shouldn't have even got this kind of a look. A hesitation burst on the stem of the route, to then hand fighting at contact to regain that leverage. And yet again, there's the contested catch ability. 33 drops last season, the second worst by volume in all of football.
Here's Love, launching, going deep, has Watson! He missed it, he dropped it! Oh, it was in his hands for 6.
Two principles that Green Bay hyperfixated on last year. They went deep, and they did it more often than most. I mean, why not try to utilize one of the best arm talents in this league? Versatility and expandability. That has been the name of the game for the Packers. Flip to page 1 over then to Matthew Golden's track record. The surface will tell you a very similar story.
Play action for Ewers on 2nd and 10 to the end zone. Waiting for it and bringing it in is Matthew Golden.
Not an easy catch. He had to turn around, fight back for it. Got it secured in the left hand. That absolutely is a touch.
But this isn't just X's and O's. The fine-grained details are what motivated this selection. An eerily similar situation to prior in this video. 3rd and 10, 2x2 split with Golden at the X, and press coverage from Arizona State out of the huddle. Now, Texas coach Sark recognizes this, and yet again wastes 0 time. A swing field motion into a 3x1, and immediately call their bluff. You're gonna dare one man to keep pace with this guy?
8-gap pressure, they pick it up. 3rd and 10 for Texas, and Golden, Matthew Golden, is he ever?
A weak side fade route. The simplest design that you could imagine. Stutter step release into a burst to the boundary. But here's the outcome. Mid-stem of the route, he ever so slightly angled his breakaway inward. Deception of the assignment ultimately created the window.
Matthew Golden doing an outstanding job with the release, giving himself space and a place for Quinn Ewers to lay the football in on the fade.
But guess what's more reliable than this guy? That would be today's sponsor. And I'm actually sitting on it. The one and only Bear mattress. Now guys, quality of sleep is a necessity for me. I didn't really prioritize it in the past, and Bear mattress has changed everything for me. I mean, not only the fact that it's rolled up into a box and shipped straight to my front door in the US, also, I'd recommend 2 of you unbox this, and not just one. But if we're talking about me personally, I sleep on my back, my side. Pretty much just depends on the night. Everyone sleeps different, and Bear Mattress takes out that guesswork with their sleep quiz. My girlfriend and I went through it and filled it out, got matched with their elite hybrid type mattress, and it's already the best mattress I've ever had. I fall asleep faster, less aches and pains. And what's most important for myself, I stay cool throughout the night with Bear's sleep recovery technology. My boy Goose didn't really know what was going on at first, but I can promise you he is going to love that technology just as much as I do. What I also love about Bear Mattress is the extra steps they take. Finding you that perfect mattress, premium fiberglass-free products, no use of harmful chemicals, and they even have a 120-night sleep trial. More than 3 months for you to test run and figure out if you love it. So if you've also been looking to upgrade your sleep recently, head over to bearmattress.com/footballdigest and use code footballdigest at checkout for 40% off your Bear mattress, and you get 2 free pillows in the process. That offer's higher than their current on-site sale, so do yourself a favor with that code. Link will be in the description, code footballdigest at checkout. And again, thank you to Bear Mattress for sponsoring today's video. Green Bay's wide receiver room. An abundance of variety, but a lack of consistency. The skill set of Matthew Golden might just break that mold. There's of course factors like the top end speed that ends up keeping defensive shells in check, the perfectly timed and fluid route breaks, even the separation and excel after the catch. More than anything else, Jordan Love in this offense had been craving a pure man beater. Matt LaFleur has become one of the better schemers in all of football, and stretching zones and secondaries thin, it's practically become his forte at this point. Observe all the way across the board. You've got speed, possession, size, chain movers. They already checked a majority of the boxes, but Matthew Golden fills in the blanks.
Ewers looking to throw and flips it downfield. One-handed grab by Golden on the run. What a play by this guy who is perhaps the most underrated receiver in the country.
I mean, just the tight window target numbers are enough to grab Packers fans' attention. You actually got to dig kinda deep to find secondaries that are willing to press this man on the release. The breakaway speed and footwork combination is a nightmare. Say in this example, if it's a zone concept with a pre-snap drop in thirds or quarters, his job just got a lot simpler. Again, it's sole responsibility for this back and coverage. Sell the go ball short side on the break, and snap the stem the second he fully commits to it. And at that point, it's just free real estate in open space. Then there's of course the contrary. If you even think about trying to man him up on the outside edge, now you've got the dropout route that reigns supreme. Almost all of these basic hitch routes have over-the-top options, which is also where he excels at reading defensive tendencies in real time. Process the positioning of a shader, identify if you have leverage down the boundary, then just take the break when you see fit.
When he gets to the top, the separation, the big-time juice and burst he shows out of the break point. But CD, when their season was on the line against Arizona State, it's 4th down and everything matters. Where does Quinn Ewers go with the rock to save their season? This guy.
Now, some people out there, they tend to look at the build of a wide receiver like Matthew Golden and don't necessarily believe that you'll be able to funnel an offense through them. But if anyone's able to do it, I'd probably put my money on Matt LaFleur. Take a look at this play design. A 2x2 alignment out of the gun quickly transforms to a 2x1 with a 2-back set. A tear motion swing screen decoy to the flat, and a slot fade for Golden with a switch release off the line. Now let's just imagine that it's Jayden Reed who's targeting the seam in this instance.
2nd and 9, looks left and then goes deep. Wide open and into the end zone is Matthew Golden.
Makes everybody bite up here for the Gators in the secondary, and they're able to sneak Golden in a slot down the boundary.
Now this kind of a manipulative play design, nothing new for Green Bay. They already have a pretty fair track record of generating explosive plays in this manner. But go back to the pre-snap alignment of that play. The clear out route from the X and the bracket attention that ensues, you probably view that as the catalyst for putting 6 on the board here. But let me show you what always gets missed. Yet again, that being the finer details. Having the presence of mind to sell your act as an outfield blocker, convincing your matchup to the point of his full commitment to blow up the screen, and then bursting on the break the instant the safety has vacated the area. All of that was mentally mapped out in a second or two. It really is crazy how drastic an uptick in IQ can expand your playbook. The modern day style of play has a hyperfixation, and it's aiming to stretch the field horizontally. You see that philosophy very so much with the Packers as well. The case on screen is a one-high man-to-man design. LaFleur is going to aim to run circles around a play like this if he sees it, both through the use of his new split-out skill set and, of course, utilizing the run threat.
Ewers to pass, and right in stride, they get going with Golden. Look at this explosive play from the Longhorns.
Well, the run fake on the RPO that time, it held linebacker Jordan Crook for just a split second, allowing Golden to get into the background. Here's Crook.
It's essentially a man coverage cheat code that Green Bay did not possess last year. All you have to do is observe the numbers. 2nd overall in deep ball target rate, and 23rd in intermediate. It was go ball or check down, more times than not with no in between. Matthew Golden is more than capable of showcasing a difference here, that being dependent on how coordinators try to scheme him. Now, we've already highlighted the footwork, being able to effortlessly stop on a dime and generate this kind of separation off the break at will. But let's also not get confused here. The top end speed, that is the focal point of his playmaking. Mind you, this is a 3rd and 11 scenario, with 10-yard soft coverage, and somehow even a drop off the snap incorporated from the deep third.
A 3rd and 11. Ewers on 3rd down, and he gets it complete to Golden, who turns the corner.
But it's nothing more than cutting off the deep ball. Matthew Golden's toolkit forces you to gamble one way or another if you're a secondary. I've honest to God lost track of how many times Texas intentionally dials up solo side route designs for him. Because what are you going to do on an island?
Eisner's already in the backfield. Play action. Ewers setting up. Pump fake. Now takes a shot. Middle of the field. He's got Golden. Golden makes the catch despite getting hit as the ball arrived by Terrell.
The strong hands and competitive catch and concentration for Matthew Golden. He is so good down the field.
The focus when pinpointing the football in traffic is unprecedented. Just another one of the many elements that separate him from the majority. You've got factors like the velocity in his takeoff, then even from the breakpoint, the ridiculous catch radius, ability to consistently work back to the football. It's really no secret as to how it can cripple defensive capabilities. Say if a team decides to get cute and attempts to dial up nickel or coverage pressure. Yet another fallback example to a Golden and Reed 2-level route design. Smash concept to the corner, and a simple out to the flat.
Play action, Ewers looking downfield. It's Golden who makes the grab at the 15.
They're reading Caleb Downs right there. He stayed up front with Moore. That's exactly where they wanted him, and they went right over top of Moore.
Go back to the snap of the football quickly. A basic ploy of thirds into a disguised cover 2 blitz. The safety is already fully rotated for the deep ball on his side of the field before the break of the route. Caleb Downs is in the literal definition of a bind here. There's no viable answer for your secondary in an action like that. The burst and acceleration is the #1 cause for chaos. There's practically endless examples of unorthodox route combinations that he can thrive in, which we of course already know follows a very similar cadence to the LaFleur system. The space that he is frequently given in route development because of his acceleration, if used correctly, it could very well take this offense to uncharted territory. Well, that and the fact that he can make literally any catch in the book.
Texas trying to bounce back. Goes to the end zone. It is a one-handed grab and a Texas touchdown by Matthew Golden.
With the quick out, got a little bit of a screen off of it. Just an amazing catch by Matthew Golden.
And again, I did not think the Packers would pull the trigger on this. I mean, I'm still surprised weeks later as we're currently discussing. But at the same time, you dive a little bit further into the detail, and you absolutely start to see the vision. But there's plenty more to it than this, though. You've got the expected growth from portions of the offense, potential coaching adjustments, even just the rest of this team's rookie class to evaluate. But that's also where I want to hear what you guys have to say. So please, let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to never miss another video here. I appreciate y'all more than anything, and I'll see you in the next one.